I'm going to go through the basics of the Harpten Curb Machine for you. First thing you guys are going to have to do, we can't ship it with oil, so you will have to put oil in it. A standard 1 quart bottle, basically about 2/3. I think the GX120 calls for 0.63 liters of oil. As far as, here's the oil chamber. Fill that in, 2/3. 10W40 the GX120 calls for. So just make sure you put that in before you use the machine and you should be good. After the oil is put in, obviously you got the regular gasoline. We're always using premium fuel just for our small engines, and go from there. Next step for getting the machine ready is being able to put the mold on. With it being new, fresh powder coat, it is a little bit more difficult at first, but what I always like to do is I get my hands in there like this and pull apart. So when you come in, you get that wrapped around. You can see how I got that wrapped around that frame, and then on this side I will pull and get that slid back up as well. So both sides now have the fork wrapped around the metal frame. I just tap it back, turn it over, and it's on. Once again, now that we have the mold on, just put the lever in the release, tap it down, you can see how it falls. You can push down, remove. Once again to show you, pull, so now you got that frame, tap, turn, mold's on again. Next step to get the machine ready is to get the skis put on. This is how they should go on. This ski here, right side, this ski here, left side. So first step, I'm going to slide this up to the height of the mold. If you're using a taller mold and it's sitting down, it should be at the height of the mold. Slide this up. Just finish tightening all these bolts so that they're on. If this is done properly, the ski will be underneath and you'll see the back part of the ski come up. If you look down in the plunger, you should be able to see that ski on the inside underneath the plunger. With the second ski, just do the exact same as what we did on this side and continue. Now that both skis are on, we are good to go to the next step. The next step with the machine I always like to check is grab the belt guard, pull out and remove. Now, after you're done with your first install, make sure you do keep this clean and these edges so that this is able to go back in. This basically gets you to all the belts, the motors, and the link arm assembly. What I like to do is test. There is a keyway here in all these pulleys. Just make sure that the keyway is not missing. I take the pulley and test. Pull out, pull out. Everything is good. I look at the link arm, make sure that that is straight. That is the one item that can break on the machine. This is the one moving part on the Harpten Curb Machine, so you definitely want a spare of this. My crew typically will go through one of these once every 4 years, so it doesn't break that much, but it can break. Put it in your toolbox, keep it safe, so you do not lose this. The next step on the plunger would be to drill your hole for cable. This is a 1/4 inch drill bit. I like to get as low as possible on the plunger because the plunger is going to be sitting a little bit higher than the actual ground. So a lot of people think they got to go through the middle of the plunger. Go as low as you can on the bottom of the plunger in the middle. So go through, we'll drill, pull, and then you're all set for cable. Next step would be to install the spool of cable. Pull cable out, go down, feed through the plunger, and you're set up for cable. Next step would be pull traveling wheel out, set down. Now you are ready for install. So now that the mold is on, cable is fed through, we are getting ready for install. The first step to do is look at your heights. The heights are controlled by your handles. And at the start of every single job, if this was the driveway here, we're going to look at the frame of the machine. This part of the frame should be a 1/2 inch off the ground. If you're sitting on the ground, you're going to be doing this and installing wrong, and the mold is not going to get all the concrete up to the top. So first step what to do would be to raise your heights, get that back frame off the ground. Once you see that gap, we're good. Now, when starting on the machine and doing the install, if you're putting cable in, your shoveler would put his foot in front of the mold. Do not step on the cable. Just foot in front of the mold, and then you would start shoveling the concrete into the hopper. What this does is it gets the concrete to come all the way to your foot and picks the machine up. Once you feel that machine go up, you can release your foot and continue with extrusion. All these steps conclude the setup of the Harpten Curb Machine. We hope you enjoy it. If you have any other questions, feel free to call Curb Depot and one of us will be able to assist you.